the problem is when you talk about strains, Arabian horse strains, most of the stories that you hear are not actually true or accurate. A lot of people will give you completely different stories about the 5 main strains of Arabian horses. So that's number one. The stories are not always accurate or true. A lot of people lie. A lot of people don't actually understand what happened. A lot of people call it a myth, not a true or real fact, let's say. That's one. Number two, Arabians or Bedouins in the past will actually choose the strain of the horse depending on his mother. For example, if you have a Khela mare and the stallion is Hamdani, the foal or the filly will become Khela because the mother is Khela. Why? Because Arabians in the past care about the mare more than the stallion. Because the stallion will die in the battlefield, the mare will not. So let's say the family of the foal or the filly depends on the mare more than the stallion. But usually the stallion will be from the same strain of the mare. So if a foal or a filly is from a mare that happens to be Khela, for example, and the stallion who bred the mare was also Khela, so the conformation of the body of the foal or the filly will be very close from the Khela strain. So it's not weird. Let's say a man married a woman and they are both from the same family or the same bloodline. It doesn't matter if you say the boy will follow the mother or the father's name, it's the same. Nowadays it's completely different. Actually the complete opposite of what happened in the past. Because nowadays you get, let's say, an Egyptian mare, pure Egyptian mare, or a desert bred mare, and she's from the Hamdani strain, for example. And the father is completely from a complete different strain. If the foal or the filly is closer to the father than the mother, they still believe that the foal or the filly should follow the mare, not his father's strain, his mother's strain. So you get a lot of horses who carry the name, for example, Hamdani or Khela, but their conformation of the body is closer to their father than their mother. So the strain right now has no meaning at all. It's just a tradition and a culture. The real meaning of it is gone, completely disappeared. It's like if we say an African guy married a European woman, an English woman, and the son was actually closer to the father than the mother, but still they want the son to carry the name of the mother, not the father. It makes no sense. You are closer to the father, not the mother, or sometimes the opposite. So strains right now are just names on paper, in my opinion. It's not a reality anymore, especially when you compare it to what happened in the past. That's one. Number two, even if it's a pure bloodline and a pure strain, not all pure Arabian horses or pure strains are good when it comes for the conformation of the body. A lot of pure Arabian horses are very pure in the bloodline, but the conformation of the body is not that good. Some of the horses are very good in the conformation of the body, but the bloodline is not that good. But when you get both of them, a very good bloodline and a very good conformation, or body conformation, that's the thing you want to look for, which is very hard to find, especially now. And yes, you can find pure desert-bred Arabians or even pure Egyptian Arabians in Egypt or Saudi Arabia. In Europe, it's harder because the French Arabians or the Polish Arabians are very good when it comes for the conformation of the body, or even in the show ring or in the show contests. But most of them are not very pure in the bloodline. Like when you go to the 4th or the 5th grandfather, they write a pure Arabian horse without giving you the name, the exact name of the horse. But pure Egyptians will always take you back to the desert-bred Arabians. The desert-bred Arabians did not even get out from their original country or land. So you could actually find very pure bloodlines in the Arabian Gulf countries, especially Saudi Arabia or Egypt. But right now they don't care about the bloodline as much as they care about the shape of the head and the high tail. Because Arabians in show contests or shows right now are more important than the Arabians that carry a very important or pure bloodline. In the past, it was the complete opposite. They cared about the bloodline and the body because they used horses. They actually wanted horses in battlefields, in races, in war. Right now, it's just a view, an outlook. You just watch a beautiful creature or animal, so they don't care about the bloodline, they don't care about the body, they only care about the beauty, especially the shape of the head and the tail. As for buying a horse in Europe, I think you can find desert-bred Arabians or even pure Egyptian Arabians in Europe, especially in England. Crabbit horses or horses in England can be actually pure Egyptians or sometimes pure desert-bred Arabians. And they are actually, believe it or not, cheaper than the other horses. Because right now, most Arabian owners care about the show contests more than the bloodline. So you could find, if you search, where exactly, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be easier than going to Egypt or Saudi Arabia or the Arabian Gulf countries.